Hey, it's Mike with Narcoleptic Customs. So we're going to call this LS Swapping Stanley episode 3. Going to go over a couple points tonight on harness cut down. Now this is my first time to do this, so I am a little nervous, but you can see I pulled all of the loom off. I've got a little over 2.5 hours in removing the loom. So basically we're going to step through with the lt1.com swap, lt1swap.com instructions, and you can find those. I'll link it to the bottom, but we're going to work through those, remove the pins from the clips there, so we can get in and really get to work and put this in Stanley, so then I can run and drive it. So let's get started.
Okay, so I'll do a quick walk around. So basically I took that big pile of mess. I spent 4 or 5 minutes getting it stretched out here. Kind of how it would have been in the truck, not really. But basically I'm doing this video for a tip for you, is to not remove it from the table that you originally put it on and cleaned it up with. So basically, because it took me another, I don't know, realistically probably 10 minutes to get it stretched back out like that. So that's the one tip. Let's get started. All right. So basically we're going to start on the green plug in there. And you'll see the yellow lines here that he highlighted. Those are the ones we pull out. So we'll get started on that. All right. So another quick tip. To get the green off, it's got little clips that are right here in this little slot. Take it off, and then I pulled my first wire. I laid down somewhere, and it's here. It's out of pin 3, so it's for a fuel pump relay control for a secondary pump, which I don't need. So, all right, get to work. Okay, so that's how many wires come out of the green side, green connector. Next side over here, I've got it back on, all the wires pulled. I went ahead and checked them off as I went. I did leave one, which is the fuel level sensor signal. So I'm going to see if maybe the tank I'm using, I can plug it in and actually have a fuel gauge. So we'll see. It's worth a shot anyways. Okay, so also another tip is have a tall table when you do this, so you're not either down on your knees like I am or hunched way over. So we're going to pull number 13 out of the blue. Let's find out which side that is. It's this side. I did find it's easier to release the inside clip and then release the outside so it comes off easily. All right. So number 13 is orange and black. Ooh, I need to clean this up a little bit. Okay. So 13 here. Make sure I don't have any extras in my hand. Orange and black. Basically release the pin there and pull like a mother and it'll come out. So then we basically trace it and back y'all up. So orange and black, where to put it? That's another problem. There's so many wires here that you lose them. Okay, so there we go. Part of the issue with doing this is that once you get into the harness, a lot of the colors are duplicated, obviously, because there's so many they have to do. So like just in this little spot here, there's 3 orange. So
So if you do that incorrectly, you'll be in a bad spot. Following it around. And again, there's an orange and black wire here, but there's also an orange and black wire here. So I'm trying to make sure I pull the correct one. This one goes to the tack module. Back in here. That's how it works. Okay. Then we take the marker. Spend more time looking for stuff than I do actually working on it. There it goes. Basically, I need to just put everything back in the same spot every time. So that's one of them. I'll work this side, then we'll work. Okay, so the harnesses, the wires are removed. Now I'm just basically going through and trying to figure out what goes where and all that kind of stuff. I am going to begin to install it on the engine, probably over the weekend, maybe Friday night, to kind of start getting it laid out to see how I want to route everything and see how I want to clean it up. So one tip, leave it on the table you start on. This was wadded up and thrown in a cabinet for probably a year. And so basically drug it out, spread it out, and cut it down. So I probably would have saved myself at least 15 or 20 minutes tonight by doing that. And then, like I said, so I'll start putting it on the engine and we'll go from there, and that'll be another episode. So I think right now what I'm going to do is give you a quick walk around of the engine that came out of Stanley and kind of tell you what my plans are for it. So I'll flip it around. Okay, so quick recap. 283 that came out of, my grandfather thought it was some kind of early 70s Chevelle or late 60s Chevelle, we don't know. I'm going to get the number, still haven't done that, and run it and see. Basically, it has an Edelbrock Performer intake, RPM intake, and 600 carb on it. My grandfather gave me the valve covers when I turned 16. They're from a 60s vet, which is kind of cool. And then, so basically the plan is to make this engine look like it would have come in the pickup or in an old car. So I've got a 2-barrel cast intake and a 2-barrel carb that I got from from Knoll. So I'm gonna paint those. I'm gonna put those on. I've got an old school points distributor I'm gonna put in, run old wires and everything like that. I have the ram horn style exhaust. So I'll clean this off and kind of clean it up some. Get those mounted on there. And basically just make it more of a stand, an engine on the stand for a while that'll look nice, and I'll have a plaque made for my grandfather that'll kind of tell his story and what he did in his life and things like that. So right now it has 700 R4 behind it. I am going to pull that off and sell it, so I'll get it listed in a couple days on the Narcoleptic Facebook page. The intake and carb, I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with it yet. I'll probably hold on to it for a little bit. It's always good to have a 4-barrel carb around, so I'll do that. I will be selling the distributor because I'm not going to need one. Everything we have has a good distributor in it now, finally. So basically, I think that's probably it for this episode. I've been out here a couple hours messing around. I've got about 4.5 hours in the harness. So I need to finish it. I need to start laying it out, like I said. So I'm rambling now, but you can find us on Facebook at Narcoleptic Customs, and you can find us on Instagram at Narcoleptic. You can also subscribe to the channel, so that way you can keep up with updates on Stanley, on Project Elsie, which has another big push this next week. So anyways, thanks for watching. We appreciate it.